Hi everyone, I'm Brianna and welcome to Roll Initiative. Today we're going to be talking about some ways that you can make your storytelling in D&D more emotional, adding some emotional beats to your campaign, as well as some things that will really help to set the scene and get your players to actually feel it. So, let's get started. Now, I know when asked how you can get your players to feel emotion from your D&D campaign, the answer is quite often to kill an NPC that the party cares about. And this does work, and there is a reason why it is such popular advice. But honestly, I think you can get a lot more from it without even having to kill your NPC. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is how you can do this. If your players care about an NPC enough to care if they die, then they're already emotionally attached to this NPC. They care about this character. And there are many ways to use this without killing the NPC. Such as if something bad happens to the NPC, then your players are going to care and be afraid that they might die. Or if the NPC is taken advantage of or hurt by someone, then your players are most likely going to feel anger at whoever did it. And this can also be a really good way to get your players to have a personal grudge against your big bad. And even if nothing happens to the NPC themselves, but someone that the NPC cares about gets hurt or even dies, then the NPC can be upset. And if you put lots of emotion into role playing the NPC being upset, then if your players care about this NPC, then that will probably make them feel something to see them so upset. But everything that we've talked about so far has been about negative emotions, like anger and sadness. And while they can work really well in a dramatic campaign, you also want your players to feel good playing your game. So now we're going to have a look at some different ways that you might be able to get your players to feel different emotions. Finding cool things left behind by others can be really cool and can evoke a lot of emotions, such as stumbling across a camp that has rations left at it, and a note saying to pay it forward. Or maybe some sort of trap or puzzle. You can find a past adventurer's note or some sort of hint or clue to how it's solved. Anything like this can be really, really neat, and even though your players will probably never meet the people who left these things, they can be really cool and your players are probably going to remember them for a long time. A really neat, easy way to try and get your players to feel emotion for your game is to actually just use emotion yourself. Whether you're setting the scene for a burnt down village that maybe your players had a lot to do with or was someone's hometown, or whether you're describing an interaction between NPCs, if you can put a lot of emotion into your voice through these scenes, then it's very likely that your players will pick up on that and may feel those emotions themselves. Because I think for your players to feel these emotions, you as the DM need to feel them and put them out there at the table. I think a big part of D&D is the found family aspect of it. And with that comes a lot of emotions. And all you need to do for that, if your players want that sort of thing, is to give them people to connect to in the game. Make lots of NPCs and keep the ones that your players like and have them turn up often. If there are people in the world that your players like and can connect to and see often, then they're going to feel much more attached to the game. Because I think the found family aspect is pretty important, and a lot of players do want it. So if you just give them stuff that they can connect to, then they're likely to want to do that. But there we go, that's the end of this video, and thank you so much for watching. And I really hope it was helpful and that you enjoyed it. And if you did, then I'd be really grateful if you'd consider giving it a like, or even subscribing to my channel. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.